Hello, what's going on, everyone? Yeah, let's get some applause in here. Right. Great to see everyone in the chat. Hope everyone has had a fantastic weekend. So if you guys have noticed, I have a different microphone that I'm going with today. I'm using a lavalier mic, so I'm going to try and go a little bit more hands-free because we're going to go down to the top-down camera so that we can check out some of the stuff that we're going to be building tonight. And so because of that, I don't want to have the big microphone arm in the way. It probably sounds better, but this is just a little bit easier. So yeah, hopefully it sounds okay, and hopefully you guys can hear me all right, and there's no interference or whatever. So we're gonna try it out and see how the lav mic works. But yeah, guys, how's everyone been? I was on Flaccid Phoenix's stream last night, kind of impromptu. You know, I was just gonna go on for 30 minutes, just say hi, what's up? We ended up talking till about 3 or 4 in the morning, my time, West Coast time. It was super fun, don't get me wrong, but I was not expecting to be up that late. So that was hilarious and a lot of fun. It's like when you and your buddies get together, your friends, and you guys just stay up all hours of the night talking and you don't even realize what you're talking about. So that was a lot of fun. So hail to Flaccid. Thanks for having me on, brother. Let's see who's in the chat tonight. We've got Fatal J. What's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. Hail to you. Shieldwall of Dragons. Hail. Jacob Ironside, Cajun Corey, Josh, I miss you, brother. I hope you're doing all right. I got your message. I haven't gotten a chance to respond back yet, so good to see you. Hello, Jay the Deep-Minded. Always good seeing you here. And Dr. Rachel, our resident expert when it comes to all things doctor related. So thank you for being here, Rachel. Vinzinger, what's up, dude? Sup, MVP. Have you seen these Indonesian superhero films called Gundala Gatot Chaka? I don't believe I have. Are they similar to RRR? Huh. I don't know. Monopoly, there he is. What's up, dude? Pretty good driving back from Tennessee. Oh, nice. Well, I'm not driving at the moment. I'm just a passenger. Well, hopefully I can keep you guys company while you're driving, heading home back from Tennessee. Hopefully you make a safe trip. Ash Lauren, hello. Good to see you as well. That happens pretty often when I'm talking with friends. Yeah. That's fair. All right, I think I got everyone. But yeah, like I said, hopefully Dr. Rachel, Dr. Expert. Absolutely. So like I said, hopefully the microphone works out tonight, guys. If it starts getting a little weird, or if the lav mic starts to, you know, it might rustle against like my beard or my clothing or something. If that's the case, just let me know. Because yeah, we're gonna try a different microphone tonight to see how it works. Smile a while, great to see you as well. I was just about to say, it's late for you. We started an hour late. I was just at mom and dad's house, so I was saying hi to them, had dinner with them, and now I'm home, so. All right, well, let's get into it. Let's get started. First things first, if you notice in the title, it says 40K Comics. So you're probably going, what the hell are you? Oh, great. Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate it. I'm glad to have feedback. So you're probably thinking, okay, so Warhammer 40K is a universe that started as a tabletop game, but then started to create its own lore for the tabletop game with its miniatures, that it then became like a novel series. So now they made novels and the Black Library came to be. But then not only was that just good enough, Games Workshop then said, let's start licensing it out to video games. So now we're talking about a tabletop game, a hobby game where you're painting and building and you know, modeling. Then we're talking about novels and books and lore and that kind of stuff. Then we're talking video games. You're telling me that there are comic books as well? And to that I say, yes, there are. There's a massive history of comic books, but it is very niche and they are very, very difficult to find. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna move us down to the our top-down cam for tonight. And what this is, what you guys are looking at right now, is White Dwarf, which was the magazine, the Games Workshop monthly hobby magazine that was published every month, that would come out with like, here's battle reports, here's new models, here's paint jobs, here's new tactics, here's lore. It kind of, it kind of had everything. And this specific one, I have tons of these White Dwarf magazines, but this specific one I specifically was reading the other day, and I was looking into it because I was like, I love Ragnar Blackmane. I love the Space Wolves. I haven't read this one before. I'm gonna, you know, open it up, see what's in there. So I start reading, and it goes into essentially the new codex for the Space Wolves that the Space Wolves had published back in, I want to say, the 90s. Yeah, look at that artwork, dude. And then here are like different deals and battle bundles that you can put together. Here are books from the Black Library, which is Games Workshop's like publishing company. And then here we go. We get into more of the Sons of Rus. We get into like the backstory and the history of kind of what the Codex got into, a little bit more details as to the author of the Codex and what he wrote about with the Space Marines. Uh-oh, did the stream stop for you guys to watch some ads? I'm sorry about that. Lame. What the hell? I don't want you guys having to watch ads. I wonder if I can turn that off. So like I said, oh, weird. Well, Rachel, hopefully it's good now. Yeah, hopefully you guys are able to see the stream now. I'm sorry about that. So here are some really great, like, I think this was converting your Space Marines into Space Wolves specifically, like into an actual Space Wolf army. And here were some of the plastic models that you could build, or, you know, it's got all this great lore and all this great information on all these different, you know, battle reports and characters and stuff. Josh, yeah, how dare I make money from the ads that are on my stream? But normally they play the ads at the beginning of the stream, so it's not like mid-roll. I don't know, it seems a little odd. all that being said, White Dwarf magazines are fantastic. They're a lot of fun to look into the past. Games Workshop is still publishing them, so you still get, here's like terrain building and stuff like that. So you still get them every month, but this is from the early 90s or late 90s. And yeah, I'm sorry about that, Rachel. Hopefully you're able to see now. Man of War says, I seem to remember about 2 years ago, Arch ripping Marvel's Marnius Calgar adaptation, a new one. I do have that comic series, so I'll have to read that again, brother, because it's been a while since I read that one. Matthew Ward says, I see there is a Warhammer Plus service that I could subscribe to. It has some of these White Dwarf magazines. Do they contain lore stuff to read? They do, Matthew Ward. However, brother, I would highly recommend sticking to the books and the lore videos, because Warhammer Plus is kind of like Disney Plus. It's extra stuff that you don't necessarily need. I know that sounds sacrilege, but yeah, it's extra stuff that you don't necessarily need. It's just fun to have. They give you kind of like painting tutorials or gaming tips or strategy tips or rule tips. They give you, introductions into some of the White Dwarf magazines. But I feel like Warhammer Plus is probably for someone who may be interested in extra content, as opposed to like the main stuff that's normally published by Games Workshop. So all that being said, though, I'm going through the White Dwarf, and you guys are like probably, okay, Max, just get to the point, right? I get to this portion, and I go, what do we have here? Gaunt's Ghosts, Ghostmaker. So if anyone knows who Gaunt's Ghosts are, it was a fantastic, it continues to be a fantastic novel series written by Dan Abnett, and we follow Commissar Gaunt and his quote-unquote ghosts, which are his some of the Tanith First and Only is their unit name. And so this was a comic by Dan Abnett that was within the White Dwarf magazine. So I was like, dude, this is badass. I did not realize that they had published comics on this before. And sure enough, they really hadn't for a little while. But at the bottom here, it says, the saga of Commissar Ibram Gaunt and the Imperial Guardsmen of the Tanith First was first seen in the pages of Inferno magazine. Since then, their adventures have been further related into 2 essential novels, with a 3rd on the way, and now this one-off comic strip. So this was kind of a one-off comic strip. But I go, interesting. So what the heck is Warhammer Monthly, and what the heck is Inferno magazine? Well, I'm glad you asked, dear viewer and dear reader, because Warhammer Monthly was a comic book series that came out in like 1998 that had all these fantastic series within it, whether it would be like about Titans or elves or blood angels, or it was 40K and it was Warhammer Fantasy, so it was a little bit of both. So yeah, here's one that contains like a blood angel story. I'm blanking on this guy's name. I know it's Nemo, something Nemo. Or no, Cal Jericho, that's right. Cal Jericho Bounty Hunter. So I haven't read this one yet, but supposedly this dude is like epic. Supposedly these stories are fantastic. So all that being said, I'm looking into more of these comic books and I'm like, okay, these look fantastic. I want to try and find more of them because it's impossible to find. They're so few and far between. They were made in the late 90s. What else is out there? So I look into Space Wolves, which is one of my favorite factions and one of the factions I played and build and collect. So I look into some Space Wolves comic books, And sure enough, in Warhammer Monthly, one of the first appearances of the Space Wolves in a comic book was in the Warhammer Monthly title. I mean, look at that art, dude. These are so rad. And what I would love to do one of these days is actually flip through some of these Warhammer Monthly books, because they are just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Let me grab some more. This one may be my favorite cover of the Space Wolves. So rad. Here's another fantastic cover. You can just see the rage. Lone Wolves. And this was a fantastic series. It was collected in a trade paperback, but these are the actual single issues. And if you're wondering what I'm doing over here, I'm trying to get all these organized because these are all Warhammer Monthly books. So I go, well, that's freaking cool. There's Warhammer Monthly comic books. That's so rad. I didn't even know that that was a thing. But then I look more into it and I read White Dwarf again, and I go, but where was Commissar Gaunt? I thought they talked about Commissar Gaunt being in Warhammer Monthly. But then I realized, no, they said Inferno. So then I look into what Inferno is and I go, what the hell is Inferno? Is that another comic book? Well, sure enough, before Warhammer Monthly was even produced, Inferno magazine, Tales of Fantasy and Adventure, these were published. And these are these are so much fun to look at, and they're so rad. And if you look at it, a lot of these prices are in UK dollars, or UK pounds, excuse me. And it gives you all types of different stories within the book. It says, warning to this product contains violence, chaos, and carnage. It's my kind of book. It sounds like toxic masculinity to me. I love it. Zaxx, what's going on, brother? Great to see you in the chat. Thank you for being here. So it's got like, let's see, does it have the date on here? Yeah, 1997. So this is issue number 2. I have scoured the earth for issue number 1 and I still cannot find it. But Inferno, issue number 2, 1997. Let's take a look. A lot of these are written by a lot of the writers that are currently writing today, like Dan Abnett, or I think this one, the first one is from Colin MacNeil. This one is from Gav Thorpe, who's a very well-known author within the Black Library universe. So not only is this a comic book though, but you open it up and it's actually like a novel too. And each one of these are a different story. It's absolutely gorgeous, man. Like, these things are so rad. The Doom of Khazad Grund. So not only are you getting 40K stories, you're getting fantasy stories. You're getting art in this. You're getting a lot of beautiful text, and it's just, it's so rad. So all that being said, this is issue 2. And I'm still looking for the first appearance of Commissar Gaunt. I've found the first appearance of the Space Wolves within comic books, but now I'm looking for the first appearance of Commissar Gaunt. And Inferno, issue number 4, sure enough, comes today in the mail. And I am so stoked because first page we open to Gaunt's Ghostmaker by Dan Abnett. And there it is. So from my knowledge, and this is just from what I've studied, and I don't know if this is true or not, because this is just like what I've tried to research, but this technically predates the Gaunt's Ghost novels. So Inferno issue number 4 and the Gaunt's Ghost like storyline by Dan Abnett, this predates those novels. And so I still need to read this. I am over the moon. I love this artwork. Here, let's take a look. Yeah, super rad. So I'm a happy boy now that I've found a lot of these magazines and a lot of these books. Here's another like cool comic strip. Yeah, these are dope. And I still have more to find. You know what I mean? The search is never over. I continue to have to look and try and search out and seek out different books that I can get my hands on, whether they're comics or novels, whatever they be. So I am very happy with these purchases. I'm super stoked to have these in the collection. These to me have like a lot of personal value, I guess you could call it, as opposed to just financial value. I don't know. I feel like these are really, really cool. These hold a lot of, like I said, personal value. Oh, Jay, thank you for confirming that. Yes, it does predate the novel. Nice. Night Smile, great to see you. I think I saw, oh my goodness, Josh, thank you so much, dude, for the $20. Can we all give a round of applause? Wow. Dude, seriously, thank you so much for the 20. That is very, very kind of you. He says, gotta rotate and take over driving duties. Hail the great MVP-ness. Sorry I can't stick around. I'll catch everyone soon. Dude, I love you so much. Thank you for being here. And I will definitely speak to you soon. Drive safe, please. And this one is for you.
I am iron. I am wrath. I am doom.
Yeah, Jay, I just read your comment as well. If you find any in the UK, let me know, and I'll yeah, right, those sexy model hands, Josh. Yeah, let me know if you ever find any in the UK. I will Venmo you, or I'll send you some money, or maybe I'll send you some like back issues of some comic books that I have, if that's what you're looking for. Because yeah, I'd love to get my hands on more of these. They are just gorgeous, and they're so much fun to read and look at, and really delve into like the past of the Black Library and Games Workshop and stuff. So really digging, searching for these and looking through these back issues. Well, now that we've looked through some of those comic books, and like I said, maybe one of these days we can actually take a closer look at the interiors of these. Because dude, look at these covers. They're so rad. Here's issue 7, 8, here's 9. 10, another Space Wolves one. So maybe this might even predate the Space Wolves from Warhammer Monthly. Gorgeous cover, another gorgeous cover. Issue 11, here's 13. So yeah, really, really beautiful books. And they have a lot of great artwork and a lot of great writers and talent on these. Here's another Gonsko special. So this isn't the first appearance, but this was like their Christmas special or something, or just a Gonsko special in general. But like, yeah, look at some of the comic art in this. That looks so freaking sweet, man. It's so detailed. And I really like that it's in black and white as well. I feel like color would detract from the grittiness and the darkness of the grim dark, you know? These like cool little outlines of characters probably, or yeah, I still need to read all this, so. Ooh, look at that, Ghost Rider from Dan Abnett. We get a little introduction from him. Nice. Yeah, I cannot wait. I'm a little boy in a candy shop. I'm giddy. Sweet, Jay. Sounds good. And yeah, Soul says looks like some power metal album covers. They do, don't they? They look dope as hell. All right. Let me show you guys what I've been working on. So the last time you guys saw me, we were building some Black Templar Blade Guard veterans, from what I remember. And so, while we're taking a look at these guys, this is kind of some of these finished products that I have. I'm really digging the cape and the pose on this guy and the two-handed chainsword. I will be rebasing these because I'm going to put them on different bases. So a lot of them don't have bases. I think this one, was it this one that we built together last time? I think it was probably this one. But yeah, I wanted them all to have a very distinct look. I wanted them all to have either a cape or a tabard with a Primaris helmet, and either like some sort of chain sword or blade for them to carry. Here's another one, cool one that this guy's like carrying like a relic, like a skull relic that he's like taunting the demons with. So this was another fun one to build. Just something different, because normally like I'd probably put like a pistol or a las pistol or a bolt pistol or something here, but instead I was like, no, let's change it up. Let's do something a little bit more fun and put some like sort of cool relic on there. Yeah, Zaxx based 40K. Yeah, John, a lot of that earlier GW stuff does look like heavy metal, that's for sure. I feel like black and white is tough because you can't rely on color to distinguish details, but that art looks amazing. It does, Rachel, and I think the black and white in those pictures, really, like you really have to know how to shade, you really have to know how to ink, and like you said, you can't really rely on the colorist to maybe portray a certain mood or portray a certain type of like distinguishing characteristic, I guess you could say, within certain panels. So here's another one. This guy's kind of got the leading the charge with the chainsword. Once again, got the cape, the tabard, the really ornate, beautiful shoulder pads and pauldrons and stuff. Now I did look up these, because I've bought all these pieces, at least the white pieces, because if you guys can tell, there's the normal gray Games Workshop plastic, and then there's the white-ish type of resin pieces if you look at these. And what you'll notice is that the resin pieces are not Games Workshop plastic, or not Games Workshop sprues or whatnot. So if you guys want to look for custom pieces, I'd highly recommend Archie's Forge. That's where I got all of these pieces, and they're beautifully sculpted, beautifully printed, and they look fantastic. I've not painted them yet, so I don't know what they're going to look like once a paint job is on them. But this one was pretty cool. Kind of a similar pose to the first one that I showed you guys, but this one he's got like this gnarly ass like executioner's sword. Very apropos for the Black Templars. Jay, am I going to be painting plasma blades? I wish I had the skill to paint plasma blades, so I probably will just do a regular sword. Just an adamantium blade. I don't believe I have the skill or the knowledge of how to really perfect and like make a really nice like plasma sword or like a lightning sword or something, or a lightning blade or something like that. And then here's kind of the last one. So this guy's got an axe and a flamer. Once again, still sticking with the type of scheme of having the cape and the tabard. I wanted these guys to be essentially like monks. You know, they are Blade Guard veterans for a reason. Sorry, excuse me, Sword Brethren. These are the Blade Guard veterans. So I haven't put any heads on these guys yet because I'm still determining if I want to make the heads custom or if I want to stick with just the regular Games Workshop heads that they have given me. So this one was actually a custom, well, not a custom, but I customized it because if you guys look at the sword hilt here, I actually cut off the hand of the arm here. And actually, let me see if I can zoom in from here. Look at that. So yeah, I essentially cut off the hand at the wrist, and then I put a Black Templar blade and hand onto the wrist here. So I'm thankful it turned out the way it did because it looks pretty, from my point of view, from my vantage point, it looks fairly seamless. Like you can still see a little bit of glue residue, but I think that'll most likely go away with a nice paint job. But yeah, I'm really digging these guys' look. Monopoly says, I don't like the way a lot of YouTubers paint their power swords. You know what? I've never actually, I've seen so many different variations that I couldn't say for myself if I like it or not. Cajun Corey for 8 months of a membership. Holy shnikes, dude. Thank you for being here for 8 months. That is awesome. He says, been driving all day, time to crash. Good night, y'all. Have a great stream, Max, or a good stream, Max. Thank you, Cajun. That is very kind of you. It was great seeing you on the membership stream, brother. I think Rachel said, I'm looking forward to the painting part of these streams and I will be judging you. Please, yeah, please do. Zaxx celebrates 8 months. Oh my gosh, dude, Zaxx, thank you, my friend. For any of your 40K experts, is there holy grail finds out there, something rare or special? Zaxx, in terms of comic books and like magazines and stuff, or models and like model kits and stuff like that. I think I might have missed something. Really like the look of your creating there. You'll need to prime them well because the plastic resin, yeah. 2 thin coats, absolutely. For the models, Zaxx, I think there are some exclusive models that that have only come out at a certain time, at a certain year, and they had like a limited print run. I don't know as much about the models in terms of exclusivity, but like the only ones that I could think of as of right now are Space Hulk. Space Hulk was a box set that came with Blood Angel Terminators, and they were all pre-sculpted. I don't think you really had to build many of them because they were already like put together. But those are arguably some of the most gorgeous sculpts and molds and models. You see those a lot, but Space Hulk stopped printing that box set. So it's really hard to find those models still in good condition or not painted or something like that. So I think that might be the closest thing that I can think of. But yeah, off the top of my head, I'd have to look into it though. Oh boy, I am going to butcher this name. The Short Brudurodern, the Short Brudurodern was a group of non-monastic German crusaders that fought in the Baltic, translated as Sword Brother Order. Dang! John Baker, that sounds awesome, dude. Holy crap. What the hell is wrong with my YouTube? I can hear the audio, but the screen is blank. Hold on, I gotta leave and come back again. Rachel, what a bummer. I'm sorry that maybe it's on my end. I don't know. What is the sun-shaped symbol on the jetpack? Oh, this guy? I think it's just kind of part of their aesthetic. Because this is from the, I want to say the Indomitus box set. So these guys have been kind of pre-made to have that logo or that insignia, that symbol or whatever you want to call it, that icon. Have I seen Chinese 40K figures? I think they're called Joy Toy. Oh my gosh. If they look anything like the promo shots, they're pretty dope looking figures. Joy Toy, yes, I have seen Joy Toy figures and they are gorgeous, but they are, you think Games Workshop is expensive? Joy Toy figures are doubly expensive. I think, I don't know. They are very, very, very expensive, but they look beautiful. And my issue with the Joy Toy figures is instead of doing a 6-inch figure, they're only like 4-inch. So they look like the old G.I. Joe figures instead of being like a full 6-inch figure, or like the McFarlane figures that are like 10-inch, or no, sorry, not 10-inch. They're like 7 or 8-inch. So it's tough because they wouldn't match like a lot of people's collections are more like 6 to 8-inch action figures, especially like the wrestling figures. So it's, yeah, Joy Toy has a much smaller scale. That's his Iron Halo, which can sometimes have a refractor field generator in it. Oh, thank you, Shieldwall. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of, is that Ultramarines lore? Is that stuff from Ultramarines that I'm not aware of? I mean, I like I said, I really dig the look a lot. And then this is kind of one of the last guys I'm working on in the Sword Brethren, Primaris Sword Brethren, like squad that I'm trying to build. And I'm not sure what head to glue onto here. I don't know if I want to do just a regular face or if I want to actually throw a helmet on this bad boy. But yeah. Monopoly, yeah, they are much smaller scale than, they are not the regular 8 inches. I would have dremeled that wrist on the bias and had him holding the blade all Steve Ditko style, and then put on that I had done it purposefully. I do normally Dremel my bits, especially when they are going into a pretty thick or heavy base. I will Dremel the bottom of the foot here so that they can actually, you know, stick into whatever resin base or whatever base it is that I'm trying to stick them on. It just helps with the actual, what do you call it? Sustainability. All right, let's get to opening up some plastic crack, shall we? Look at these bad Larrys. This is the plastic cement that I normally use for like the plastic areas, but then I have to use this medium extreme power glue for the resin stuff. And let me tell you, this stuff will get you high as a kite if you sniff it for too long. This stuff, not so much. I don't mind the smell of this guy. But that other like extreme power will get you extremely high. So I'm gonna be doing some more Blade Guard veterans for the most part. Let me grab some of these pieces, so bear with me as I pull out the stuff that I need, and then we can continue forward. And I'm gonna actually brighten this bad boy up so you guys can see what I'm doing. Did any of y'all see the new... Hey, what's going on, Roman? Great to see you, brother. Ahoy and welcome to the Max's Man Cave, to the Dwellers. Okay, I think these are the correct pieces. Yeah, that looks right. That looks right. So did any of you guys see the new Cadia stands, the new Imperial Guard figures that just came out in the box set? Or did you see the Chaos Slaves to Darkness set that came out for Warhammer Fantasy? Excuse me, Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Pretty dope. Games Workshop just keeps wanting to take more of my money. Resile says, it's cool you're doing 40K, glad to see it. Thanks, man, I appreciate that. Glad to see you here in the chat. And yeah, I'm digging getting back into my hobby that I've loved for a while, and seeing as though like people for the most part have really enjoyed a lot of the 40K stuff. I'm gonna keep doing it as long as there's an audience for it. Shelby Love says, hey kids, hope Max is taking care of his eyesight working on small models. I'm colorblind, but for the most part, my eyesight is all right, but thank you. Extreme Power Glue, I love the smell of Extreme Power Glue in the morning, right? As funny as a high as fuck Max might be on stream, I'd rather you didn't sniff glue. Well, thank you. I will try not to. I love the smell of my color and paints. Yeah, absolutely. Katie looks great, didn't see the others. Yeah, the Slaves to Darkness Age of Sigmar models look freaking so rad. Exactly, yeah, the Age of Sigmar seems cool, but I don't know if it's, like, it would just, it would be more money for an army that I most likely wouldn't play, so it would just be more of an aspect of like, hey, this seems kind of cool, these models look beautiful, I'll build or paint these guys. So, but I don't think it would actually be a faction that I would play in the store or in like a tournament setting or anything. Oh, you got a preview of both of them in real life. Hell yeah, Jay. I'm sure they look gorgeous. I've heard that Arcs of Omen is good for the most part. It's kind of like, I was listening to a podcast the other day and they said it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, which I feel like tends to be a lot of Games Workshop rules, especially when they're putting out new rule books every 2 years. It can get pretty frustrating, but it sounds like people are liking Arcs of Omen. I'm gonna move my, there we go, much better, okay. Ooh, Razile's got them Dark Angels, hell yeah. That good old Lionel Johnson. Have you been hearing rumors that they might bring him back? They might do a Robot Gulliman, or I can't pronounce his name. Robot Gulliman. Bring him back. kind of feel like that might be, I kind of feel like that might not be the move. I think it's actually cooler to have some of these Primarchs not in the fold, but maybe that's just me. Like, as much as I love my Space Wolves, I don't know if I would want them to bring our boy Lehman Russ back. Valrex says he's coming back, so it must be true. Rowboat girly man. That's the proper way to say it, exactly. Rowboat girly man. Oh, Jace is currently painting my first Imperial Knight model as a free blade. That sounds dope as hell. I have never, ever been able to build or paint larger models. I don't know what it is. It just takes me forever, and I feel like I can never really get it right. So that's awesome that you're doing the Imperial Knight, because I love the look of those things. The design on that is really cool. I want them to build an Imperial Knight that's just one gigantic cathedral on top of a Imperial Knight. Okay, I think that should do it for mold lines on this guy. So I was looking at, or I was talking to a couple guys on the, yeah, cursed autofocus. I was talking to a few guys last night on a stream, and Zaxx was there actually. Zaxx, Flaccid, Lofty. And we were talking about some of the movies that like we're quote unquote excited for 2023. Can you guys really think of anything that y'all are excited for in 2023? Like, are there any movies that are coming out that you're like, I am stoked for this. Like, I seriously cannot wait. I really can't think of anything that I am just champing at the bits to get into the theater to go see. But I think we were talking about maybe Guardians of the Galaxy, because it really has only been the best. They've been probably the best films to date when it comes to Marvel stuff that have, and I think it's honestly because of the characters. People love those characters so much that, you know, it's, and the writing's well done and everything like that, but. Oh, there's a new John Wick that comes out? Hell yeah. Oppenheimer. That's the other one that I've been hearing a lot about. I've never heard of 65. Mission Impossible is going to be dope. And yeah, I've been loving the John Wick series. So more John Wick, I'm there. Oh, that's right. Zaxx, we did talk about Dune 2. Yeah. I keep forgetting about Dune 2, man. The John says the new Indiana Jones. Get out of here. Kick him out of the chat. No, I'm kidding. I'm just giving you a hard time. But no, I don't think anyone is looking forward to the new Indiana Jones. At least I hope not. I mean, everyone realizes what they're doing, right? I feel bad. Like, why try and do another movie in this franchise? But it's a perfect trilogy. I mean, Raiders of the Lost Ark is arguably one of the best films of all time. Temple of Doom, and why am I forgetting the Holy Grail or whatever, the Crusade one. I forget the third movie, what the third movie's called. You guys can take my nerd card. Let's see. I think I missed a couple. Championing the Bit, good question. It won't be a perfect movie, but I'm excited for Extraction 2. Will be a fun ride. I'll be more excited rewatching Aliens or Lord of the Rings. Yeah. I'm totally jaded at this point, but I think he is joking to screw over the Guardians of the Galaxy as FU to Disney. Paul, and you know what? That's totally fair, man. I'm pretty jaded as well when it comes to Marvel stuff, especially anything Disney Marvel. I just feel like it's going to take a lot to win back a lot of the fans and get within their kind of like good graces and really, because like what do we have? Like Agatha Harkness, who wants to watch that, right? So I think it's going to take a lot, and James Gunn might be kind of trolling Disney with Guardians. I'm not sure. That's a good question. The Last Crusade. Yes, thank you. It's a perfect movie. I would say Raiders before Last Crusade, but both are top tier films. Rachel says, nothing I'm excited for, but there's a few I'll probably go see with friends. Dune, Mario, and Guardians. Oh yeah, Mario. Maybe Barbie if we're drunk enough. One of my good friends is in Barbie. He's an actor in one of the scenes. Barbie's trailer was good, had me laughing. I want to see Dune Part 2. Me too, for sure, but I'm not really excited to see anything. Hail Max in chat from Flaccid. What's up, Flaccid? Good to see you, dude. Thanks for being here. I'm not a Temple Dune fan. The Last Crusade was epic. Crystal Skull is a dung heap. Oh yeah, Roman. That's why we always say Indiana Jones is only 3 films. Yeah, there are only 3 indie movies. Exactly, Man of War, right? What time did you get up today? That's a great question, Flaccid. So here on the West Coast time, I got up at around like 9:30-ish. But yeah, we went to bed at like 3 or 4, at least West Coast time. So like, that's 5 or 6 you guys' time. My dad and I watched the Indiana Jones movies. Oh, that's cool, John. I like that. The idea of, now that he's gone though, the idea of what they will probably do to that new movie almost makes my stomach roll. John, I'm so sorry, man. And it's so sad, right? But at least you know that you have that memory with your father, that those 3 films that he loved so dearly, at least that is something that they will never take away from you. No matter how hard they try, no matter how pathetic they make this new movie, at least you will still have those memories close to you. And I think that's more important than anything else. But thank you for sharing that, man. I started losing interest in the MCU even earlier than most, I think. Winter Soldier was the last one I genuinely enjoyed. That's fair. Winter Soldier is arguably one of the best MCU films, so. Roman. Last Crusade is perfect, says Flaccid. Mario has a red flag with Seth Rogen playing anything that Seth Rogen is involved in now automatically flings up a red flag for me. Chris Naples says, I can't stand what they've done with Drax. And thank you, Flaccid. Yeah, if you guys are enjoying, please smash the like button and share this out if you guys are just hanging out and enjoying your time here. Guardians is always fun. But yeah, because essentially what they've made Drax is just the big dumb idiot, right? I mean, that's essentially what the common trope of just, I am big dumb, strong idiot man. Which I guess like every superhero team technically kind of has / needs. I don't know. Do I dare say needs? Look at that, like a glove. Yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying your time hanging out and just chilling, listening to some music and building a little bit. Roman says, no, Batman has no big dumb teammate. But that's Batman. I mean, he's always been known to be kind of the off on his own. Even when he does have a team, it's normally just Robins. Like maybe Huntress comes into play every now and then. It's interesting to see what they did with Bane in that George Clooney Batman movie. Like they made Bane a pretty big dumb idiot, when Bane is actually like this really well thought out mastermind, right? Oh no. Yeah, Superman and Bond. Ugh, no. You know what's wild is that Superman and Bond could both be played by Henry Cavill, and we will most likely never see that in our lifetime. If we do, it'll be the Mark Miller comic book series. What was it called? Something of Spies? League of Spies? Something like, I need to look it up again. But that was a fantastic series. And if anything, that's probably where we'd see Henry Cavill be Bond. Gunslinger, I didn't actually see the meetup in the Christmas special. I hate to say it, but maybe the big dumb sidekick was us all along. Dang, Rachel, getting meta. Getting super meta. Oof, that hurts. Maybe we are the big dumb sidekick that just keeps consuming product. King of Spies. Thank you, Jay. Yeah, King of Spies. But yeah, no, I've kind of been black-pilled on a lot of Marvel stuff, honestly. So even that Christmas special, people were like, hey, the Christmas special is fun. It's not too bad. I was just like, I don't feel invested to it anymore. Like, I don't need to see it. And I mean, I don't know. I'd much rather watch Die Hard, or I'd much rather watch Santa Claus with Tim Allen, or I'd rather watch Elf, or any number of other Christmas specials that probably outrank that one. But Kingsman was based off of a Mark Millar comic book, Paul. And that was a fun film series as well. Mark Millar just crushes it when it comes to, people really love to adapt his stuff, and I think his work is very adaptable to fun like film projects. So I think people just really like, Kick-Ass was another one that was adapted. And he's gotten like Netflix deals and different pitches, and so he's in there. Chris says, relevant side note, I've never had the time, money to invest in playing Warhammer, but have always loved the lore of 40k, particularly Chaos, though Space Wolves are super badass. Well, Chris, thanks for the side note. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's definitely, I've said this before, and I never ever mean, it as disrespectful. I think I just mean it in a way that is more practical and realistic, and trying to be as logical as I can be. But Warhammer is definitely for a dedicated hobbyist, and I don't mean that to say that people who don't like Warhammer aren't dedicated. It just means that you do have to dedicate so much of your time and money and investment and thought processes. Like, Warhammer is not just a, oh cool, I'm gonna go pick up this comic and spend 15 minutes reading it. It's a $3 comic, great, that was really fun. Like, there's so much that goes into it that it's really, really tough to get into the hobby. So I understand, brother, but if there's anything that I can do to help you kind of enter that space, always please let me know. Send me a super chat or send me a DM or something, and I will do the best that I can to help you guys kind of enter into the hobby, or at least what I've done and how I've seen other people do it. So I hope we don't watch Max slice his finger in real time. What are you talking about, Shelby? Yeah. So this is cool and new for me to see. Blood for the Blood God. Hell yeah, Chris. See, you got it. You got it down. Corn is for, and like I said, I've said this before, I'll never claim to be a Warhammer expert. There are so many amazing, incredible writers and lore masters and YouTubers and people who really know this stuff like in and out. I will never claim to know as much as they do, but I can always try and help someone find the hobby and be introduced to it. As long as they are willing and able to treat it with respect, yeah, I'm all for it, man. All right, I think that sword is good. Oh, that sounds cool, Jay. I've never heard of that one before. The Department of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Holy shit, that sounds so rad. And it's Guy Ritchie? I mean, come on, with Cavill? Wow. Take my money right now. What's cool about Warhammer is that it can be just books and lore, or just modeling, or the gaming, mix and match, or all of the above. Monopoly, right? That is the essence of so much of why I love the Warhammer hobby, is because you can enter into it at any place in time, whether that's video games, books, the models like these, video games, books, models, the tabletop game, which is a totally different aspect of things. Yeah, or like I said, the comic books even too are a whole other hobby in itself. So we baptized those Warhammer figures in blood. Oh yeah, hopefully not, Paul. But yeah, so there are so many different aspects and so many different ways to enter into the medium that I think it almost kind of intimidates people, because they're like, where the fuck do I start? And that's absolutely understandable, right? Mods ban Flaccid Phoenix for for his hot take. No, I'm kidding. Space Wolves equals cringe furry Space Marines. Right. Tell me again what happened on Prospero, Flaccid. No, yeah. The funny thing is that the Ultramarines are kind of like, the Ultramarines are seen as like the literal blue Boy Scouts. They are the Smurfs of the universe. Like everyone has their own like funny names. And yeah, the Space Wolves or the Space Puppies, the Space Furries are, that's their kind of thing. I think they get so much shit because people secretly actually really like the Space Wolves the most, but they don't actually want to say it. It's also very toxic to enjoy things that are predominantly white men with a lot of testosterone and a lot of Viking and Norse heritage. That's pretty frowned on today, so. I don't have any normal 40K models, but I do have quite a few Battlefleet Gothic. Whew, Battlefleet Gothic, man. That was one thing that I never actually got a chance to get into much, but those models are gorgeous, gorgeous. Don't listen to Max's fake news. Oh, man. These mold lines are always so tricky, especially when it's like something from the sprue that you've clipped off, because you don't want to actually make an indent into the plastic itself. So you have to be really careful just to scrape the surface and not actually cut into the plastic mold itself, because then you get a shield that's all janky and it looks all fucked. Like, you know, you want that top portion to be as straight as possible, but you see that little notch right there? Like you're trying to get rid of that guy without actually, and there's another one down here. Yeah, see that little white notch on the bottom of the shield? We're trying to get rid of that bad Larry. It's like a zit. Get rid of it. Pop the pimple. But in order to do that, you want to try and keep this bottom part as straight as possible without actually like cutting into it. Oh, yeah. And the Space Wolves do still rape and pillage and do sex. You're right, Jay. Absolutely. They do the sexy time. When the X-Acto points toward the camera, I get slightly nervous. What do you mean, like this? Like this? What are you talking about? Is that the only reason folks don't admit to liking the Space Wolves? I think that the Space Wolves are pretty, like, they've done some pretty heinous shit where they've like literally burned worlds and killed innocents and stuff. But that's the world of 40K. But yeah, they've done some pretty heinous shit. However, they do look out for their own on Fenris. I think they do have a pretty good understanding of like their people and wanting to protect the women and children of their homeworld. But when it comes to Prospero, like they were just like kind of like fuck it. Sanding nubs on Gunpla is just as frustrating. I believe it, Monopoly. I believe that. That's what drew me was the Space Wolves books. Yeah, Texas Wolfman, they are dope as hell. And they're actually a fantastic way to get into the universe, especially the Space Wolf, the book called Space Wolf, where you follow Ragnar Blackmane. Fantastic books. Have you seen Flash Glitz series on Black Town? Oh, Monopoly, yeah, that's the one I think you had sent me, but I don't know if I've actually watched that one yet. Okay. Oh, there's another one? Balls, man. I didn't even see this bad Larry. I'm just gonna take care of this one real quick like. Get him out real quick like. Okay, please let that be the final mold line that I have to deal with. I saw a dope ass paint job for some Black Templars where essentially they had made these shoulder pads and the pauldrons, so these shoulder pads, they'd essentially made these, they painted them in a marble style texture. So it was like a white marble with black and gray veins through it. It looked so fucking sick. If I were like an expert painter, I would love to do something like that for my Black Templars to make it almost look like they had marble inlaid shoulder pads. I just feel like that would be so sick. But I do not have the talent to do such things. Okay, how does this guy need to stand? Does he need to have his sword out? That's the only thing with the Indominus, or like any box set for that matter, is like they have, you can clip these little things off, which are essentially what holds the arms together, and you can customize it a bit. But I also don't want to ruin the aesthetic if it's supposed to be a certain way. Not that way. Okay, so it is supposed to be more forward. Okay. Manicure tools really help with cleaning mold lines, nail files, manicure sticks. Thank you, Jay. I have used them previously in the past, but I've found, at least for me, maybe just because I'm not as articulate, but I find that whenever I'm filing something down, I'll tend to file it down or I'll hit something else, excuse me, which will then scuff up the rest of the model, or it'll scuff up like the armor on here or something. So I try to stay away from the, what do you call it? The nail files in particular. Okay, the shield is in place. Jacob says there's a skunk on my porch. There's a snake in my boot. Don't scare the skunk, Jacob, because then it will release its pheromones. It will spray all over your house, and then you will have a house that smells like skunk. I'm not even sure if I know what a soft foam file is, Jay. So yeah, I'll have to get some expert female tips and check those out, because I don't think I've ever seen those. I always just get like the metal ones. All right, so far so good. We are on to our next Blade Guard veteran of the Black Templars. I'm gonna perfect his, I'm gonna clean his backpack real quick, and then we'll throw this on there, and then he should be good to go. And then we'll probably decide which helmet or headpiece to put on next. Oh, cool. Thanks, Monopoly. Appreciate it. And yeah, thank you as well, Jacob and Jay. I've always just used I've used a lot of different things, but the hobby knife for a while, the X-Acto blade, has just been like next level for me. It's able to make my life so much easier when it comes to these mold lines that I've just been crushing it with this, and I haven't looked back since. So Jay says you're such a bloke, never change. Well, thank you, I will not. Grim says Black Templars, hell yeah, brother, hell yeah. All about them Black Templars for the God Emperor. Yeah, what are their... no pity, no remorse, no fear. I had to look at my my Black Templars flag. Fat Fox just getting into the chat. What's going on, brother? Thanks for being here. He says, you kit bashing any 3D printed parts like helmets? Just got here. I am, actually. So if you look at some of the Black Templar, Sword Brethren, excuse me. These are actually the Pereira Sword Brethren. I have attached some bits, a backpack, shoulder pads, and a head sculpt from a 3D printer from called Archie's Forge. He is dope, makes some fantastic things. He or she, I'm not sure. But I have done that actually with all of my Pereira Sword Brethren. I've also added some capes to the ones that don't have them, so that they can all have the same kind of aesthetic of blades, capes, tabards, chains, purity seals, you name it, they've got it. Shelby Love says, you can always get those nail buffers or have a lady buy one for you if you'd rather. That would be if I had a lady to talk to, Shelby Loves. Besides you guys, of course. California, it's slim pickings out here, guys. Slim pickings. Thanks, Fat Fox. I appreciate that. Truly, it does mean a lot. Building is probably my favorite aspect of this hobby. I am a plastic crack monster. So even more so than the lore, I would say. And so this aspect of the hobby is really, really fun for me. And it's so damn therapeutic, right? So yeah, that means a lot that they look great. Thanks, man. And yes, Grim, holy crap, that fan-made film is it is so rad. I love rewatching it every now and then. I actually so I had no idea that it was a thing. And then a friend of mine, Harley Dave, friend of the show, always fantastic chatter here, he had recommended it to me, and I had no idea that it even existed. So I was very pleased when I heard that. Okay, thankfully, I think the backpack is taken care of for the most part. This is true, Soul. Sometimes if I'm not working out, if I'm not going to the gym that morning, I will crack open my plastic crack and I will crack open a nice pot of coffee and I will, I'll you know, like I think I did most of these guys. Oh, where are they? Yeah, I did a lot of these guys through a couple mornings that I had free, that I had open. And I just worked on those guys and it was fantastic. Rachel says, Max, you're just going to have to meet someone and convince them to move to Cali. But then but yeah, how am I going to meet them somewhere else though? I'm here. If I stay in California much longer, says Monopoly, I'll probably never find a nice gal to marry. Monopoly, don't, you know, I'm sure that we will find someone. So we're just looking. It's all right. We're still looking. Shelby, those scratches, yeah. That's not from some cat. Maybe a cat fight. Yeah, escape from California. Get out of California, absolutely. It's next on the list. I'm currently in school, and once school is finished up, I will be looking to try and find a business that will be looking for someone that could potentially move. Whether that's Texas or North Carolina, Tennessee. Noise, all right. Another one down, Unotra. I do have custom bases for these guys, Jay. Here, let me actually grab them. So like I said, these are all from Archie's Forge as well. Not sponsored or anything, but they're just, you know, want to make sure I give credit where credit's due. These are the 40 millimeter bases. They are dope as hell. They look beautiful. So this one is much more of like a scorched earth, cement, skulls, you know, maybe some cobblestone and grit and grime. So I've got those guys. Look who it is. Look who it is. Oh, Gideon's in the screen. Gideon, do you want to say hi? Kid, come here. Do you want to say hi? Oh, you guys just saw his tail. He didn't want to say hi. And then this one is just more pretty basic cobblestone. This one looks like ruins, you know, like old ancient ruins. And that's why I think I'm going to use these for the Black Templars, because I like that they're potentially walking through ruins of a city, or that they're walking through ruins of a cathedral or something. So I probably like these ones for the Templars. Well, I don't know, because the skulls on this one is really cool. And it definitely gives the vibe that, like, that scorched earth vibe, which is really rad. I just wish that this was cobblestone. Which, I mean, I guess it could technically be. It's more of cement, but... There's a little thing called the internet. You can use it to connect with people anywhere in the world. Thank you, Rachel. But yeah, so I've got 20 of the cobblestone bases. And that's what these look like. And then I have 10 of the skull scorched earth type bases. These are the 32 millimeter. Oop. Yeah, both of these are the 32 millimeter. And then these are the 40 millimeter. Yeah, Gideon didn't want to stay for too long. Walking through the ruins of a temple they are reclaiming. Right, Fat Fox? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Gideon loved the name for obvious reasons, right, Grim? For sure. I've seen some mini Warhammer figs that rival most stuff they have in art museums and in comic stores. Well, that's the rad part is like, if you guys look through some of these White Dwarf magazines, they will show you, like, I don't think it's in this one specifically, but they will have beautifully painted models. And then they'll also have some of the Golden Demon winners, which are actual competitive level artists. So some of the models in the White Dwarf, magazines are to an expert level. So you could consider them as artwork, Games Day 2000. Yeah, so that's how you guys can tell. This is a little bit older. Hey, Rachel, there's some cosplay. There's your next cosplay suit right there. That's what you should do next as an Imperial Guardsman or woman. Want to be, inclusive. How many figures do I currently need bases for? For my Blade Guard veterans, I need 5. For my Primaris sword brethren, I need probably 10. And then I have a chaplain, so I'll need 1 more for him. And then I have a captain, so I'll need another for him. So yeah, anywhere from 15 to 20 maybe. But that's just, within the next few months or so, just basing these guys and making sure that they all have the correct base to go with them. Yeah, shoot. So, for example, if you guys don't know what Golden Demon is, this was in White Dwarf. This is kind of like how you would, these are the competition guidelines. And then these are the different painting categories. Best Warhammer 40,000 single miniature. Best Warhammer 40,000 squad. Best 40K vehicle or squadron. Best Warhammer, so at the time Warhammer Fantasy was single miniature. Best Mordheim Warband. Best Battle Scene. Those are beautiful. Those are really cool. Youngbloods. Oh, that's rad. Entrance. 14 years and younger. That's dope. Youngblood. Where we at? Best War Master Army. Best Army. And then, yeah, there's your guidelines. And then here's your, entry form. I wonder if they're... No, I don't. Like I said, sometimes in some of the White Dwarf magazines, they will have professionally painted Golden Demon winners, and they will show you, okay, this is the guy who won. Oh, here are some of the battle reports. These are awesome, where it tells you each turn. So this looks like it was a fantasy battle between these two lovely, fine gentlemen. And yeah, it shows you their moves, their strategies, their tactics. John Baker's got to head out for the night. Well, thanks, brother. Thanks for being here, man, and I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your night. Yeah, once again, beautiful, beautiful artwork. So rad. Here's kind of a rogues gallery. Ooh, these look rad. Mordheim. Let's see what you guys are saying. My bad boy cats will steal and hide Space Marines if you leave them out. We've lost a squad or two under the sofa before. Gideon has no joke taken one of these bad boys before. Not one of these specific ones, but he's taken Space Marines before and chewed them to shit to where there's just nothing but you can see like all the little divots and dents from his teeth just gnawing on it. So that has happened before, but not recently. Yeah, they used to have sections devoted to armies on parade as well as Golden Demon winners back in the day. Haven't seen the zines in a while. They're, I think you can find them on Warhammer Plus. I have some ideas for the 40K cosplay. Don't you worry about that. Ooh, sounds good, Dr. Rachel. Looking forward to it. All right, I'm going to put this to the side. Yeah, man, Luton's got some great stuff, Jacob. He truly does. All right. Oh, shoot. Do I have one more, or do... That might actually be it, is it? No, I think I have one more Blade Guard veteran. At least I should. Sorry, guys, I don't know where the... I thought I had a fourth. Maybe he's in here. No, because these are the captains. And then the Emperor's Champion is in here as well. I'll have to play some Darktide or possibly Vermintide 2 before work. Have a good one. Yeah, thanks for being here, Grim. I appreciate it, dude. Have fun playing Darktide. That sounds dope as hell. Well, I cannot for the life of me find where the other Blade Guard veteran went. So, yeah, unless there are only 4, but I'm almost positive that there should be 5 total. Because this is like your lead one. Oh, sorry, I don't have the top-down camera on. I think it's 3 to a box for Blade Guard vets. Fat Fox, this was from the Indomitus box set. So I took one of the Blade Guard veterans and I converted him. Let's see. So normally this Blade Guard veteran has a pistol. Let's see if he wants to focus. Normally he has a pistol here, but I swapped that out with one of the Black Templar's blades and like threw a chain on there or whatever. So he's kind of my 5th, if you will, because I think it was 3 Blade Guard veterans and then the captain, which was this guy or whatever I don't know if it was a captain or what. But he's like holding his shield out, which I mean, what says drip like putting an actual skeleton on the front of your shield? I'm sorry. Can we talk about how awesome that is? That's grimdark for you. That's dope as hell. And that is, you're making a statement with that piece. I must have not pulled the other one from the sprue. So I will, I'll probably build the veteran off stream, or I'll probably build that last veteran off stream, and I'll put these guys together, take a few pictures, post it on Twitter and or here on YouTube or whatnot. But yeah, no, I think we've made some pretty significant progress. We have almost an entire Blade Guard veteran squad. We have like 2 squads of Primaris Sword Brethren, which technically can't actually be played on the Games Workshop tabletops because they only allow Games Workshop models and figures. So because a lot of my guys are custom, they will not be able to play on the tabletop, which is fine. I do it for building anyway. I do it for the love of the game, the love of the building hobby. And then I think we could probably move on to doing some painting. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, check Gideon's bed. Yeah, he might actually have something on there, or in his bed that I don't know about. Well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. Unless you guys want to take a look at the new Imperial Guard, the Astra Militarum figures, because these actually look pretty damn dope, not gonna lie. I've never been an Imperial Guard guy, but after being in the Marine Corps, I recognize like how badass they are. So I actually have a much larger appreciation for them now. I actually really like what they have to bring to the table. In terms of just models, I don't know how well they play in tabletop tactics or like how they play in an actual competition, but I love these new models. The Cadian shock troops look dope. I love the aesthetic of the old Cadian shock troops because they all looked very similar, and so they looked like troops, like military troops. Yes, Jacob, Gideon is a great leader in the Bible, and that is actually precisely why I named my cat Gideon, because I wanted to, do something biblical for him. But yeah, these guys look great. Though they don't have the same type of like aesthetic where it's like each guy looks exactly the same. They all look like troops, each one is very individually different. They all have like different poses, or they're running, or they're talking on a walkie-talkie, or like one's pointing or something. Each one of them look very different, which I like. And they're just more, they're much more detailed. The detail on these look great. And I think they're a little bit bigger too, because the other ones were super squatty. So it was really difficult to paint and build. And then here's the Cadian Command Squad. That flag is going to be so rad. Little power fist action going on here with a dude smoking a stogie. I like that. I like that. These are going to be rad. These are like the heavy machine gunners or heavy weapons teams. I really like these models. I think, like I said, because it reminds me so much of the Marine Corps, it feels like I'm painting or building like historical figures. So I like that a lot about the Guard. Ooh, Rogaldorn battle tank, gorgeous. It kind of reminds me of Fury. If you guys ever watched that movie, Fury, with Brad Pitt. Great movie, by the way, but yeah, the Rogaldorn tank reminds me of that. Here's some cool at least this looks like some artillery pieces. more different heavy weapons options, field ordnance. Sentinel, this beauty right here, the Baneblade. So I bought a Baneblade back in 2010, and I tried to convert it. I think for the most part, I think I converted it into what the Blood Angels called the Sanctimonia Cruor. Let me see if I can pull it up. Sanctimonia Cruor. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it or not, but or if that's nope, that's not what I wanted. Marnius Augusta Calgar. Yeah, the Sanctimonia and the Cruor. So the religious leaders preaching, blood that flows from a wound. You get the Sanctimonia Cruor, which is the Blood Angels like tank that is converted from what is it? This bad boy, the Baneblade. But this is this guy actually did a really cool paint job. Like I said, I've never painted anything this large before, but I love the hazard stripes on there. Looks really rad. Old Blood Angel model you can throw on top. And I'm pretty sure at the time you could buy, because what you had to do is you had to buy the custom tank bits right here that were the actual tank tracks, and then you had to buy the custom resin pieces of the weapons on the side of the tank hull, and then this top piece. So different, yeah, you definitely had custom like options, but I love the look of the Baneblade in general. It's a fucking monster of a tank. Mr. Deep-Minded just did an amazing paint job on a McFarlane Imperial Guardsman. I saw that, Jay. That was, wow, that was gorgeous. That was true talent. Did Max just say he bought a Beyblade? A Beyblade? I don't know what that is. Lehman Russ Battle Tank, Chimera Psyker. So those are some of the new Imperial Guards models and pieces that we're gonna get. These bad Larrys though. Slaves to darkness, boys. Slaves to darkness. Where do they go? Here we go. Whew. Yes, sir. The Battle Tome Limited Edition, and then the just regular Battle Tome. But yeah, I'm digging how these guys are looking. They look, to be fair, they look very similar to the old Slaves of Darkness models, but they look even more gnarly if that was possible. They look even more detailed. There's more intricacies about them. There's more kinetic movement and stuff. Yeah, like, gosh dang, that detail, man. And they just, the aesthetic of the Chaos Knights and the Slaves to Darkness is just, I've always really enjoyed that aesthetic. I've always really liked that look. It's very dark fantasy. It's so rad. I love the horn here too. That looks great. So yeah, Slaves to Darkness stuff has been looking pretty sweet as well. I was, when I was little, and I was like, 10 or so, I was collecting Slaves to Darkness, but then I collected Beastmen, and these guys remind me a lot of some of the Beastmen models that I was collecting. I don't know, do they still have Beastmen? They do. I still remember. Oh my gosh, this is bringing me back. My nostalgia is hitting me in the feels. Yeah, the Beastmen were sick, man. Centaurs. These are probably still metal. I guarantee you these are probably still the metal pieces. At least from what I remember, I thought they were metal. But yeah, the Beastmen are a fun faction. I don't, or Beasts of Chaos. I don't know if they, I still have their codex and everything. I don't know if they still have a place within Age of Sigmar or not, but it was always fun to play them, or at least build them when I was, when I was a kid. Fat Fox says, I love the moment that is showing in the sculpts now, or the movement that is showing in the sculpts now, but I feel they are getting a bit too busy for my taste. So many little trinkets and chains and whatnot. Yes, you absolutely get, like, especially for a lot of the Black Templars, you get purity seals, chains, ornaments, purity, I think I already said purity seals, but lots of just trinkets, things that are hanging off them. But like you said, there's a lot of really cool kinetic movement in the capes or in those things that are flowing from the armor. So I do like that they are a little bit more kinetic, but there's a lot going on, a lot of detail, a lot more detail. Well, thanks again for hanging out tonight, guys. I wanted to show off some of the comic books that I had. I wanted to show off, I wanted to build at least one model tonight that we could, accomplish. And we still had some time to spare. So thank you all for hanging out. It's always a pleasure to do these live streams, and it's fun to just get your mind off of things and do some stuff that's like positive, do some stuff that's life-giving for y'all, for myself. It's always really great to look at the things that we love and talk about why we love them. So this is always fun. And yeah, we tried it with a new microphone, and I think it worked for the most part. So appreciate you guys hanging in there with me as we, kind of try some new stuff. But other than that, it's always a pleasure to be with you guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. I hope that you guys have a fantastic Monday tomorrow. And I think it's Martin Luther King Day tomorrow. So we will honor him and his legacy and his words tomorrow. I think most people will probably have tomorrow off. So I know that a lot of us appreciate what he's done for the world. And I know, like, when you look around now, you would just, it hurts to think of what he would see now with a lot of the stuff that's going on. But we still remember and honor everything that he did. So hopefully you guys can do that tomorrow and enjoy the rest of your week. Let's say bye to you guys. Great stream, says Shieldwall. Thanks, dude. Fun stream, Max. Good night, says Jacob. Zaxx, thanks, Max. No, thank you, dude. This is a lot of fun hanging out with a great bunch. Absolutely, Jay. Yeah. Great stream for the bit I caught. Thanks for streaming. Absolutely, Fat Fox. Thanks for being here, man. Great to see you. Thank you, Dr. Rachel. I enjoy these Sunday streams to just chill and chat. Absolutely. That's what's so fun about this. Mic'd work great. No beard. ASMR. Yeah. None of me rubbing up against the mic with my beard. Okay, good. Because that would be annoying. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you again for your companionship, your support, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.